who was leading the World Cup this time last year, that he's out here on 6, but he didn't qualify except in 3rd place, and it's just the luck of the draw that he and Karanen are on opposite sides. Good start there for Campbell, though. Whoosh! Very much quicker away than Drysdale in the next door lane.
Olaf Tufte. Hacker was the quickest man in the semi-finals, a 6:40.14. And interestingly enough, there's a little bit of extra spice in this race because there's €3,000 on offer here. That's the prize for the Hollandbeker, which is a part of this regatta. So, what's that? 6,000 New Zealand dollars, Mr. Drysdale? Something like that.
Something like that. Now, this is interesting because we've seen that Campbell shooting off in front. He's in the hard lane, so he's decided to take it by the scruff of the neck. And he and Hacker have stripped this field clean. Hacker wearing, you'll look at that in the yellow boat in lane 3 in the middle of the course, and he's put a large airline on the front over the splashboard at the bows. He has a sort of thing like a cyclist's helmet made by Empacher and stuck on for this is the first race. We haven't seen this before, but I'm not quite sure what the psychology or the physical reasons for it would be in these conditions. It seems to be taped on with gaffer tape, and it isn't, although it's yellow, it isn't made by Empacher because it's not in the same plastic. He's got a balloon or something. He's got it looks like an airbag for a crash. What is the guy thinking? I'm going to think of next. Now, Campbell has decided to set this one out. This is an extraordinary start for lane 6.
Yeah, and Andre Sinek, too, from the top of your picture, as we come to the end of the first quarter here. Also particularly speedy. The only one who's a little back off the pace at the moment in lane 5 is the world champion, but we've seen this before. Mahe generally, or quite often, takes his time to find his rhythm, and will now, in this middle thousand, we'll be looking for him to build his challenge.
We certainly will. Very interesting there. Campbell in camera now, through that gate in 1:36.98, just under 1:37. That's incredibly fast in conditions which are not necessarily helpful in supposedly the slow lane. I think this is all being shown to be poppycock because he's right out there and got this race by the scruff of the neck. And Hacker, for all his balloon or airbag or whatever it is that he's got in there, is slipping back. And this man, Tufte, is the one who's thinking, I'd better get a wriggle on or Campbell's going to get away from us and we'll not be able to pull him back.
I think aerodynamic cone might be the...
Aerodynamic cone. It's taken me a long while to get there, and you got there first. Thank you, David.
And whether the airflow makes it more efficient in terms of diminishing the pressure on the boat, well, we'll have to wait and see. But that is the bow of lane 4, Olaf Tufte, the Olympic champion. Now, he generally takes a time throughout the season to wind himself up to the big occasion. 4th, it was pretty close, but 4th in Linz was a bit of a disappointment. And this man, who has spent a lot of time also, you know, working with the Norwegian team, promoting the sport, as well as having to attend to his family farming business, looks as if he's a lot more serious today.
He does. What he's been doing, he had a bit of a virus, or he had some setback, physiological setback, and I understand the word on the water is that he's come here to make sure, to convince himself that he's in full recovery, and that's why he wants a win here. When he won the semi-final in very dramatic form yesterday, 2 or 3 people said, oh, well, that's him. We've seen him for the weekend. He'll just go back into his shell for the final. Not so. He wants this, and he wants it from Campbell. Campbell's really put down a marker and threw down that gauntlet. And here, the only man who's challenging him at this stage is Tufte. Drysdale's in keeping. Hacker's in keeping. There's lots still to happen, unfold in this race in the second half. We're just coming to 1,000 metres now.
Yeah, so close. Well, here is Alan Campbell in lane 6. Based out of Richmond. This is a man who a couple of seasons ago came out of the British squad, and here comes the world champion, Mahe Drysdale, for New Zealand. And interestingly enough, Drysdale, Hacker, and Campbell are all intent on meeting each other in Henley Royal Regatta, which gets underway in about 10 days' time. So the Diamond Sculls are going to have quite a lot of spice about them there. Mahé Drysdale, member of the West End Rowing Club, beginning to put himself in this race now, with Campbell on the near side. On the right, on the far side of the regatta course, Andre Sinek, and Campbell wisely just keeping an eye on what's happening, because you can actually, well, we can see it, you can't, but Sinek in lane number 2 is beginning to get into this now.
Yes, Campbell has been hauled back. He's back in 5th position, and that is not surprising in the circumstances. He went out very hard. He's tried to put a middle 1,000 together, but very difficult indeed to get through the last 500 in the lead. But Drysdale now closing on Tufte, and he and Hacker are going to try and put a squeeze on Tufte.
And Sinek, don't forget Sinek on the far side, and also up there as well, you've got Lassi Karunen just beginning, in fact, to drop back now. And Sinek solidly second. You can see in the white skull, 2 from the top of the picture, and he's coming on to now be Olaf Tufte's closest challenger, as Drysdale remorselessly, relentlessly begins to close down. You can see there, that's Karunen. Now he's getting on to terms with Hacker. Hacker in 3rd place. Campbell seems to have shot his bolt at the moment. Tufte holding on there. He's in the command position. He can see everything that's happening, but can he respond? And you can just see Drysdale really moving.
Tufte being taken by Sinek there, and Sinek up at 40 strokes a minute, and Tufte holding him off as long as he can, but there's only another 3 or 4 feet in it, and there's 250 metres to go.
As they come past the second pass of the grandstands, the bow there of Andre Sinek of the Czech Republic, the man who won in Linz, the bronze medalist for the last 2 seasons, coming up, this 23-year-old Czech, to take it away from Olaf Tufte. And still challenging, you've got Mahé Drysdale, who's still in 4th, behind Hacker, who's in 3rd place. But Sinek goes across ahead of Tufte, and then Hacker, then Drysdale, and then Karunen, and it looks as if Alan Campbell of Great Britain, well, Alan Campbell of Great Britain just ahead, in fact, of Lassi Karunen there, but Andre Sinek, well, he paced it absolutely perfectly from lane 2 and maintains his 100% record for the season. But just to put things into context here, the New Zealand squad, they've been over for about a week, so I think it's fair to say the jet lag should be pretty well out of them now. But as John Howard, the team manager, said, you know, this is the build-up. It's their first competitive regatta. It'll move forward to Lucerne, and then, of course, the big target is the World Championships. So